Hello. I don't have a script for this video. I'm just gonna speak about my experience as a data analyst, as while learning as a data analyst and everything about that job. So, as you have seen the title of the video, I I failed as a data analyst. Everything began 2 years ago as I was researching about jobs and career opportunities in tech, and I just came across data analytics, which to me looked like something I could learn about, and that wasn't so hard as software engineer or data scientist or I don't know, front end developer, back end developer, or full stack developer, something along with that. And so I just began learning uh, about it. I researched about the career, and I began learning, watching a lot of YouTube videos, attending courses online. And for a year, I spent almost 5 hours every day learning. First, learning SQL, Python, data analysis softwares, or I mean data visualization software like Tableau or Power BI, or even um, leveling up my skills with Excel or Google Sheets, which I had already know about, which I knew about before. So I just did that. I practice a lot. I read a lot. I saw a lot of videos, courses, and as you can see here on my YouTube, I posted a lot of videos about me, for example, streaming, uh, me learning and practicing programming, me solving SQL problems, me posting portfolio projects, and so I just did that for a year. And after a year, I began looking for jobs online. I applied. I tried to apply for international jobs or where I could speak English, or maybe in the USA. So a way to promote myself was to posting these videos, teaching other people how I did my projects for my portfolio. And then I got just some interviews, but most of those were um, scams. For example, one interview, I was interviewed by a company which at the end was just offering a course or a diploma for, yeah, for a course there they offered. So at the end of the day, I had to pay. I didn't, because I didn't enroll to this course, but um, there were so few interviews, and then out of nowhere, a friend of mine who who was already in the tech industry, he saw that I was learning uh, these skills, the data and data analysis, and the company he was working for was looking for a data analyst. He got in touch with me, and he asked me if I had these skills, and I told him that yes, indeed, I was learning, that I had the skills. I was um, like a junior data analyst, and that is what the company was looking for. And so he suggested me, he invited me to to apply for this vacancy, and I did. I applied. Uh, he told the employers about me, and they contacted me, and I had an interview with them, and they gave me uh, an exam, or yeah, like a technical exam uh, that I had to do uh, to apply. So they, so I at the end of the day, I had to solve like some problems in this exam, and I did, and I didn't hear about them for a while, and I asked my friend if like how did I do, what they were saying, uh, if they were considering hiring me or not. And he said that my friend said that they were thinking about it, that that one of the interviewers, who was the senior data scientist, he wasn't convinced about me, and that they had uh, other candidates. One of them was a friend of the senior data scientist who he recommended for the job. But the other interviewer, the co-founder of this startup I was interviewing, applying for, he was more convinced, and his word had more weight. And so I was hired. I was hired, and at the time I was working uh, at a music school, and when I heard that I was hired, or that they wanted me to enter and to work with them. I was really happy. And but then problems began, and I had to quit my other job as a music teacher. I I told my boss that I found another job as a programmer. I said them, and I had to quit, but that I can stay for a little longer uh, while they found or while they find another teacher to replace me. So they agreed, and I began working half time with this startup and half time with my at my previous job as a music teacher. And so from the beginning, my performance wasn't uh, as expected because I I I only spent 4 out of the 8 hours uh, working in this startup, and the first days were only in like an introduction of the startup. They told us how they work, but then the senior data scientist wasn't happy with me. He he gave me well, he was directly in charge. Like I was a direct subordinate, and so the first days were very stressful, and he well, they asked me to do some uh, activities, some analysis, and I tried my best, but maybe I didn't understand the question, and and also since I only had less hours to do the job, I failed, and this guy got mad. He he gave like a half an hour speech about that I should take the work more seriously, that this isn't uh, the playground, that no one told him what to do. He just did what was expected from him. And yeah, he was like, he gave me like this speech. I think probably mostly because he wasn't, because he didn't agree that I was hired instead of his friend. I told him that he had to that I was so sorry, but I like that this was my first time working as a data analyst. That I did know this that I did know how to do the job, but it's different in real life than in at work. And so So it was very stressful, and I was fearing that I would lose the job very quickly. And for my desire of working in this industry, I was fearing that I could lose my two jobs as a music teacher and this job as a data analyst, that I felt that I couldn't match the expectations. And it was just very stressful, painful. I questioned myself, I doubted myself. I was thinking, am I not good enough? Maybe I should have study more. Maybe I needed more experience before working. And all this, um, all this, like this imposter syndrome that happened to me, and I couldn't keep up with the stress and anxiety, and I just quit. Before they fired me. I i just quit. I couldn't handle it. I felt that I wasn't worthy of the job. I felt that I wasn't enough, that I didn't know enough, that I had not enough skills, that I wasn't ready for the job, that maybe that wasn't something I really wanted to do, because mostly, like, at the beginning it was exciting about learning uh, about this, about data analysis, um, programming languages, but mostly the motivation was for uh, driven by money. And I just decided to keep working as a music teacher. I asked my boss not to fire me. Well, not that, but I asked them if they could allow me to stay at the music school, because I I quit as a data analyst. Um, and yeah, they agreed, and so I just quit from the other job as a data analyst. The CEO contacted me, and she asked me why I decided that. She tried to like persuade me to stay. Um, I told her that what the situation was with my coworker, that I felt I wasn't enough, that I wasn't ready enough for the job. She insisted, but I just felt it was not going to work. It wasn't working, and that it's not that it's that it won't work. So I quit, and I still spent a couple of months learning more about data analysis. I posted um, more videos here on YouTube. I did more projects, but then slowly the motivation fade out, and I just slowly uh, walk away from this industry or this career. It's it's still like it's still interesting to me. I'm still learning and uh, programming. I'm still practicing, especially on Python. Now I'm doing animations in Manem. Well, that was before I had an injury in my hands. That is a topic for another video, maybe another rant. But yeah, this is the story of how I felt as a data analyst, how the imposter syndrome uh, took advantage of me. And so if you are interested in this career, just uh, be aware that you need to be very passionate, because if it's something that you just go after the money, it's probably not going to be worth it. And yeah, I don't want to be this video to be so long. Maybe this is an opportunity to me to practice my English. As you can see, I did a lot of pauses while speaking because I don't have a script and I haven't spoken English in a while. I consider myself like a intermediate level, and so maybe this is a way for me to take advantage that I'm at home in the mornings, that I cannot do proper work because of my injury, and so I can talk about my life and other stuff. And so yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you soon.